Worm, prepare yourself. Damn Saiyan.
Before I begin, guys, I want to know what is your favorite part from this trailer, and go ahead and pause the video, put it in the comment section, and I want to talk about it because there are a lot of parts of this trailer that were the best part of the trailer. I mean, there were simple things like seeing some of these new characters and character designs, to just seeing Goku chilling out with Beerus and Whis like they've done throughout most of Super, at Capsule Corporation, at Bulma's house, eating and talking about power, talking about current events. And then there are the unfathomably amazing parts where you have Broly attacking the Saiyans, attacking Frieza, and then powering up at the end. This trailer had it all. So I was just curious what your favorite part of the trailer was, and I'm gonna go ahead and tell you guys mine. Now, the trailer had a lot of gems, and it's really hard to focus on one thing, but there was one major thing that was sticking out to me throughout the entire trailer like a sore thumb, but not really in that negative connotation because the trailer was awesome. Essentially, the trailer had a lot of fighting in it, a lot of action, and we've come to expect that. Battle of Gods had a lot of action. Resurrection of Ev had a lot of action. We just went through the Tournament of Power that had all action, really nothing else besides that. But the main thing that caught my eye throughout this trailer is that they are focusing a lot on the backstory. They are pushing that narrative that there is more beyond or behind the Saiyans than meets the eye. Even some of the words that they use at the end of the trailer, the Saiyan race, what lies beyond that strength or behind that strength, and then you see sort of like a backstory image where you see this guy right here just standing next to what seems to be Paragus, or a younger version of him. They're over a crashed Saiyan pod, and just this image alone pushes to me that there is going to be a lot of heavy backstory throughout this that's going to explain more about the Saiyans, about Frieza's connection to them, and maybe it's going to flesh out more about Vegeta, Broly, and Goku's linkage together, because it seems like they are going with this whole their destinies went a completely different direction. Like each character, each remaining Saiyan was able to forge out a destiny of their own, even though they all came from the same planet. And I really like that they're going with that direction, because that was one of the things I was really worried about, other than Broly working for Frieza, which by this trailer was completely dashed into oblivion, because there is no way just going off this trailer that you can go like, oh yeah, he's working for Frieza. It seemed more like Broly and Paragus have their own military sect, their own rogue army that is maybe trying to dominate the universe against Frieza, and that's why you see Frieza trying to go into Golden Frieza, and Frieza fighting him at the end of the trailer because he is the rival faction, and that makes more sense to me. And it actually makes sense coming from some of the stuff that they brought from the actual Broly movie, because if you guys remember, in that movie, Paragus came to get Vegeta, because they created a new planet Vegeta, quote unquote new planet Vegeta, and that he wanted him to rule over that planet. It doesn't seem like they're gonna go in that same direction, because the moment Paragus laid eyes on Vegeta, he went Broly attack, and then Broly just flew at Vegeta and started attacking him, which, oh my god, the animation, guys, the animation, it's just so pristine. I mean, some scenes got this fluidity to the animation that we've seen from the poster and some of the animation that we've seen, but then a lot of it has some of this rigidness and heavy line work that just looked like some of the best episodes that we saw in the Tournament of Power. Now, this whole trailer did bring up one aspect that I am a little bit worried on, and that is if Broly is going to be his own character. Now, if you guys seen the choke around his neck, it's not there when he goes into this berserker state, but it is there when he's in his base form. So I'm thinking, is Paragus going to be controlling him the entire time throughout the movie up until he breaks it, similar to the original movie? Or does he have more of a character, but when Broly starts developing more of his power or going more berserk, Paragus controls him with that necklace. I'm hoping it's the latter because I do want a fully fleshed out Broly. I want to know his hopes, his dreams, what his goals are, what his past is. It looks like we're going to get his past, but I don't want him to be like a mindless slave for Paragus the entire time, similar to how he was in the Broly movie. I want there to be more to his character, and I think they can really do it. I think that this, if they do it right, I think Broly could be the Thanos of the Dragon Ball verse. I think he could be a very likable villain, and it seemed like from this trailer, yeah, he is essentially going to be the villain, the big bad of this movie. I mean, you could have looked back at the other information that we got and been like, yeah, he's definitely going to be the big bad, but it really wasn't 100% confirmed. Now it does seem that way. It seems like they have some sort of goal in mind, and they're even going at odds with Frieza, so it's going to be hectic and crazy, but I'm excited. This trailer just was probably one of the best trailers I've seen in a very long time, and definitely the best Dragon Ball trailer that I've ever seen for anything. It really is it is transcendent when it comes in its form, that this is going to be going into the movies, and the trailer really showcases that this is a movie, not a series. Even at one point they have all this dialogue and all this build up throughout the beginning of the trailer, right? At one point in the middle of the trailer, it just completely changes, and it gets this 3 Steps from Hell sort of music that is just so epic, so crazy sounding, and it sounded like a siren was going off in the background. Like, it really gave the trailer this sense of urgency, like there is a nuclear bomb about to drop, and that's exactly what it sounded like, and that's exactly what the third act, or the second act, I guess, of this trailer was. It was all action. It was all Broly building up, building his power, Goku you know, facing off against it, and it just ended with the baby in the pods. There were 2 Saiyan babies in these sort of recovery chambers, I guess. They look very similar to what Frieza went into in Resurrection of F, and I mean, it could be just baby pods that they have, like they're redoing. You know how in the original Broly they had Goku and not Bardock, Broly, Goku and Broly sleeping next to each other, and that's where we get the whole Kakarot thing. These could be those chambers where they put Saiyan babies in there, and that could be where you know, what happens to them when they first arrive. I don't think that they're doing experiments on them per se, because that really wouldn't make much sense. But if this explains why Goku's so strong, like he got experimented on with Broly in the very beginning of their childhood, then that's going to be some crazy insight into Goku's background that we've never seen before. But I don't know if they're going to be that ballsy and go into that, but I thought it was really good, and it is very important, like that whole backstory with the baby Saiyans and that guy with the extremely long monkey tail from the flashback, it seems like, with young Paragus. That ending part where we see the baby, that seems to be very important. They're really pushing that narrative, because normally that last clip of a trailer is one of the most important parts of the trailer, or one of the parts that's going to shock us the most, where we're like, as soon as it ends, we're like, okay, we're gonna need to go watch that. That is amazing. That is crazy. A lot of trailers do it, and especially a lot of the action movie trailers, they do it. That last scene is something that really catches your eye, and you're like, you know what, I'm watching it. That baby Saiyan at the end, that shot of him, that is supposedly seemingly very important to the movie, and that's the reason that they chose that to be the ending shot. And I think that really is going to be Goku and Broly's backstory, because as far as we know from the movie, they were linked, and the movie doesn't matter anymore. But now the movie has been remade and the characters have been remade, and so we really don't know too much more about Goku's backstory when it came to Planet Vegeta. And it is very apparent that this Saiyan is from Planet Vegeta. He's not, doesn't seem to be frozen in ice. It seems like they either came to Earth and they landed in the Arctic. That's what it seems like, or they are on a different planet with a completely different goal. But if you guys remember, there's a shot in the trailer where a Dragon Ball falls in a cavern of ice. So they could be coming to Earth and trying to find the Dragon Balls for some reason, maybe to remake Planet Vegeta, because that was the whole point of the movie, the first movie. They're trying to, well, they're trying to get, he was trying to get vengeance on Vegeta, but he still remade Planet Vegeta, so he said, and wanted Vegeta to rule over it. That was the ruse. But the Dragon Ball fell into the cavern, and it seems like they came to Earth. They're looking for the Dragon Balls. They find the Dragon Balls in the Arctic, and then Goku and Vegeta seem to go check them out or go to stop them or whatever. And the fact that even Beerus, it seemed like Beerus and Whis both took note of Broly's strength at the very beginning. Like, they kind of like stopped what they were doing and looked around. It seemed like they took note that Broly was there, or Broly was present. It really showcases exactly how powerful we're thinking that Broly is going to be, and I think he is going to be far more powerful than Kale. Remember, this is an actual savage Saiyan from Universe 7, basically a Saiyan that loves to fight, an evildoer type of Saiyan, from that sort of culture. And the Universe 6 Saiyans were not like that at all, especially not Kale. So for her power to have some limits like that, because of her where she was born in Universe 6, that makes sense to me. And the fact that Broly would be a lot stronger because of his upbringing would also make a lot of sense to me. So yeah, if you haven't caught up to the Dragon Ball Super Japanese subbed version at the end of the Tournament of Power, you are going to need to, because this is going to probably have a lot of references to it, and maybe some characters that you might not know even exist or who they are, and you don't want to be lost when it comes to the movie. When you're in the movie theater watching, you'd be like, who is that, what's going on? And so I would say go ahead and start watching the Japanese version. I know the English version is at where Hit kills Goku, so go ahead and start watching the Japanese version, guys, because that's where you're going to be able to catch up and see exactly how far Goku goes in the Tournament of Power. Because if he goes into his new state in the movie, you're going to be like scratching your head. What is this? What is going on right now? Which I really don't think that he's going to go into this state, because I think that in the beginning he was talking about how he realized how underpowered he was in the Tournament of Power, and how he wants to get stronger because of that. That's the reason he's seeking more strength. But then in the tournament, he got like an extremely broken ability, which is the Ultra Instinct ability, and then but he doesn't count that. I guess he's not counting it when he's talking to Whis as a strength that he earned, essentially. So he doesn't know he can go back into it. So basically, to me, it seems like he can go back into it, because he's saying that he wants to get other strengths. So maybe he's trying to go into Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. Maybe Super Saiyan Blue Evolution doesn't even exist, seeing as how we never saw Vegeta go into it at all in this trailer. And when it came to their forms that we saw and that were put in San Diego Comic-Con yesterday, there's no Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Vegeta at all in Vegeta's transformations. We do see Super Saiyan God Vegeta, so that's a plus. That's amazing. I mean, you can't get blue without red, so he always had it in my eyes, but now we actually get to see him use it, so that's going to be pretty awesome. But anyway, guys, that is my review for the trailer. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Again, I want to know what your favorite part of the trailer was and why. And if you liked anything that I had to say, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This is going to be Blackscape signing off.
Sanctuary, my sanctuary.